Cheers, guys. Epix 911. Welcome to the first quick look
Just up the road.
in a hell of a long time.
Help you out. It's probably best if we split up. I wouldn't have made it without your help today.
Just waiting for him to stop yapping. Alright, you get out of here, dude. So as you can see, we have made it past the first part of the game, the Helgen stretch, which is really a tutorial. I just want to avoid this guy just so we can do our own thing. We'll meet him back in town. Wow. Guys, Skyrim VR. How long has the wait been for this game, right? Sure, you can play it on PC with Vorpex, but not this fluid. This is fantastic. Playing this on a PlayStation 4 Pro. Haven't had a chance to test it out on the non-Pro, but I've read from those who have. Not a huge difference, if any difference at all. In my VR Roundup show, I talked about the graphics being inferior, but those type of statements, they're not just black and white. Just want to qualify that and just say that doesn't mean that the game's not immersive. In fact, VR can get by with a lot less graphic complexity just due to the way it presents the graphics all around you, 360. That can make more of a difference than having just the fancy graphics. This is the most realistic feeling Skyrim yet, even though it's got the lowest textures and resolution of the bunch. Doesn't matter, not one iota in this game. Guys, it is massively immersive. The sky itself feels like it's kilometers up there, far, far above you. You get this real sense of depth and scale that you've never felt in Skyrim before. Now, this is my second recording, had some issues with the first. Also played it last night to test out the controllers, and I gotta say I do prefer the DualShock 4. Mentioned that in VR Roundup as well. Just over the Move controller. Move controllers work, but without the native locomotion, it just doesn't feel as good, as fluid. DualShock 4, you're up and going in a few minutes, even if you've played this game mouse keyboard on PC. If you've only ever played it via a gamepad, you're going to just feel absolutely right at home. So let's talk about a couple of things here. While I'm making my way to Riverwood, the inventory and UI system is fantastic. As you can see with the head movement, I can look all around the user interface. There's no issues like you tend to have with programs like Vorpex at times. So you can see here, everything's intuitive. I can go in, I can switch to Imperial Sword just like that. Swing it using the trackpad, back up while I'm swinging, forward. You can dodge side to side. The combat is absolutely in your face, visceral. I love it. I love it. So much fun. So we're going to play Warrior here. Let's do that. The effects, like those little magical effects, and that, you've never... I mean, we've seen that beam countless times, right? I've played this game 500 plus hours. It has never frickin' looked like that. It looks like it's some magical power going right up into the cloud layer. Just fantastic. Now, textures, like I said, they are lower. Look at the ground. You can see here that they look lower. But the scale and scope makes up for a lot of that. So the user interface, just from what I showed you, very intuitive. Doesn't take you long to get a handle on that. We went the wrong way. As far as VR controls, before we get to the two wolves here, I want to show you. You go into settings. If you've got Move controllers connected, you can switch between them on the fly. In the VR here, I've got smooth turning. So essentially when I do this, it's very smooth and it's instantaneous. What you can do, if you're somebody who has motion sickness, you can go into the VR here and you can set it to snap. You can change the increments, so you can turn in 15-degree chunks. The field of view filter, again, anti-nausea, it'll kind of dither the sides of the screen and narrow your view. That trick for kind of anti-motion sickness. All of that's in here. You can really tweak it to get something that you personally are going to be comfortable with. For me, that's smooth all the way. So off we go. Let's make our way to Riverwood. So when I was filming this about an hour ago, because last night was just about, like I said, testing the controls, but an hour ago, hour and a half ago, it was about playing the game. And I lost track. While I was recording, I was having so much fun, and I was drawn right back into this. Now, the game's always been... Here's the combat. You get to see this. Just freaking in your face. I love it. The game has always been cyclical for me in the sense that I'll play it hardcore for days, weeks. Then I'm done with it for many months. Then I play the game again, and it usually centers around mods. So this is the vanilla game. Doesn't have mod support. But with that said, easily 120, 130 plus hours. If you're a completionist and you want to try every quest in this game, there's a hell of a lot to do in here. Sure, if you charge through the main storyline, you're going to finish it pretty quick. You could probably do that in about 10, 12 hours, but urge you to go off the beaten path for sure. So we're going to initiate, because we took the rebel side. Just let me get the quest going here, and we're going to show you a bit more of it. So here's good old Ralof. He beat us.
Brother, Mara's mercy, it's good to see you. New to Riverwood? If you're looking for work, go see... Of course. Here's the key to the house. Stay as long as you like. If there's anything else you need... Oh, what's this all about? What are you two doing here?
Okay, I'll have to check that after.
Lucan over in the Riverwood Traders says thieves
Girder
broke
and
into his
fought.
store.
You know,
Strange.
you should
Are
go
you
to
hurt?
Windhelm and join the fight to
A
free
fine day
Skyrim.
to you, friend. May you
You've
die
seen
with
the
a
true
sword in
face
your
of the
hands.
Empire here
Of
today.
course. Take what you need.
Better keep moving.
So let's get some
What's this all
supplies
about?
here.
What are you two doing here?
So she was blocking the menu system. Now, I didn't say I was the best guest. I'm kind of taking everything. She said I could.
A dragon? In Helgen? It can't be. Although...
Never, guys, have the
Saying what I saw
characters
earlier,
felt this realistic
flying down the
either.
valley from the
Wow.
south. I thought I must have just been seeing things. I don't know why, but I actually believe you. Things just go from bad to worse. First the war. The Jarl needs to know if there's a dragon on the loose. We need to get word to Jarl Balgruuf in Whiterun. And who's this? One of your comrades?
Is there somewhere we can talk? There's no telling
Oh.
the news from help.
Crap.
Maurice.
Some reason it turned to snap turns. There we go. That's what I wanted. Let's make sure it holds.
Here it is.
Yeah, there we go.
You're right. Follow me. Todd, come here a minute.
I told you, my sister. Just head north.
Okay, cool.
Listen, it's the capital
So let's
of
do that.
Whiterun.
Wow.
I'm going to rest up here a
Todd,
while
just
before
come
heading
here.
to Windhelm.
Love the mountains. What I had in the previous recording of the game too, guys, that was so amazing. There was a storm system coming in, and sure, it impacts your visibility when you're playing it on a monitor, but in-game in VR, the effect is just like it actually would be in real life. With a fog, you really have trouble looking into the distance, and again, just it's never felt that realistic, the weather system. All those little things you take for granted in regular Skyrim take on a whole new meaning when you're playing in VR. Staircases in that first dungeon, the Barrow there, feel steep and imposing. They're just a bloody staircase in the non-VR version, you know? Stuff like that, that's just... it's what makes VR so freaking fantastic.
Citizen, I'm warning. Your presence is interfering with Imperial business. Be gone!
Characters look amazing. So, in terms of view distance, the length of distance, it's not bad. I mean, look at that. You can see Whiterun and the castle. Detail is decent. Whatever balance they had to do, they did a really good job on maintaining kind of a comfortable average frame rate. You really don't get the sense on, at least on the PlayStation 4 Pro, that there's a lot of dips. And there's typical areas in Skyrim. Whiterun is one of them, where if you're doing benchmark testing, that was one of the areas where you'd really notice a dip. So you'd be, let's say, the 50s or 60 frames per second here, go to that staircase by the castle there, and look out over the town from within it, and you're dipping to the high teens, right, into the 20s, as an example. You felt that. You don't get that same feeling in this. They've really balanced it to make all areas feel about the same. And I only really noticed it when I went into the castle itself with its much lower poly count, that it felt suddenly a bit more fluid. That was the only area that I've really noticed it so far. Everything else, like I said, the details, the textures, they don't really matter because it looks so damn imposing and real. Like that moon in the sky. Holy crap, does that look good. And you really get used to the controls quickly.
They say Helgen got hit by a dragon.
So we're going to have to say our usual bit of BS here.
City's closed with the dragons about. Official Riverwood's in danger too. You better go on in. You'll find the Jarl in Dragon's Reach at the top of the hill. Halt. City's closed with the dragons about. Official business only.
Load time's not too bad now. Mind you, I've got an SSD drive. Not sure what they are like on non-SSD. I imagine it's still pretty damn quick. But talk about a game with staying power. Definitely Skyrim. So here's the area, guys, that I was talking about where frame rate traditionally dips. And when I said I go up to the castle and then look back over the town, that's just up here. Right here. Look at those mountains. Look at that. Out of a frickin' fantasy movie, only you're in it. And my daughter asked me, she goes, Dad, does it feel like you're in the movie? And I say, well, movies are kind of, you know, you're passive static. It's almost like the difference between watching a play and then being in the play, because it's real to begin with, but you're still an observer. Then being in the play, that's kind of what this is like. You're one of the characters. Yeah, like right here, instantly it does feel a bit more fluid, frame rate, but holy crap, guys. You look up, look around. This is a Viking hall. Look at these massive timbers, one piece sections. They were mighty trees on the mountains that they hacked down and lugged overland kilometers to get them up here. The warmth of the fire.
What's the meaning of this interruption? Jarl Balgruuf is not receiving visitors.
Well, wait till I tell him this.
Well, that explains why the guards let you in. Come on then. The Jarl will want to speak to you personally.
So, you were at Helgen. But it's none of my concern who the Imperials want to execute.
By Psvr, Irileth was right.
What do you say now, Proventus? Shall we continue to trust in the strength of our walls against the dragon?
My lord, We should send troops to Riverwood at once. It's in the most immediate danger. If that dragon is lurking in the mountains...
It's a provocation. He'll assume we're preparing to join Ulfric's side and attack him. We should
Enough!
not...
I'll not stand idly by while the dragon burns my hold and... Irileth, send a detachment to Riverwood at once.
Yes, my Jarl.
If you'll excuse me, I'll return to my duties.
Watching the characters out of the corner of your eye, like,
Well
just...
done. You sought me out on your... Here, take this as a
So
small
cool.
token of my esteem. There is another thing. Come, let's go find Farengar, my court wizard. He's been looking into a matter related to these dragons and rumors of dragons.
Because everything feels so real, in the previous game that I recorded that I'm not using, I beat the Jarl to talking to him by about 3 seconds, and the script didn't kick in even though the Jarl was in the room, and it felt so much more unrealistic than it normally did, because you're here in the room and you're thinking, what do you mean you don't see him? He's right here.
Farengar, I think I found someone who can help.
Come to Dragon's Reach to discuss the ongoing... Ah, indeed? The Jarl. Oh yes, he must be referring to my research. Yes, I could use someone to fetch something for me. Well, when I say fetch, I really mean delve
And this
into a
guy,
dangerous ruin in
Farengar.
search of an ancient stone tablet that may or may
He
not
looks
actually be...
so much leaner, you know, not a warrior, very obvious, and you get that sense. Just by standing here, he's not nearly as imposing in the physical sense, but in a mystical sense, he scares the crap out of you. You know he's powerful, and VR delivers that like no other experience. Those little subtleties, they don't need to write that in the game. It's just the artwork, the characters they use. Switch that over to VR, and blam, you've got feelings in a game that only VR can deliver.
Straight to the point, eh? No need for tedious hows and whys. I like that. Leave those details to your betters, am I right? I, learned of a certain... Go to Bleak Falls Barrow. Find this tablet. No, an old... Ah, maybe you just want to know how... I'm sure some of the locals can point you in the right direction once you get there.
Anything we can use
All
to
right.
fight this dragon.
So here we go, guys. We're going to go to that dungeon. Going to explore that. Within this recording, I want to show you guys just a really good sample of a bit of everything. So you've seen town, castle, overland.
Damn those Greymanes to oblivion.
Weather's been way too frickin' good. And because we're here, we can fast travel now back. Let's do that. Oh yeah, the map. I love this. The sense of, again, scope and scale. Whenever you look at the map, you've got this pivot point, and you turn around this axis with the world map all around you, feeling like very much like a map with depth and scale. All right, there's Riverwood, so let's go fast travel. That way we can just cut up right up the path and check it out. So we'll take out the guys on the tower. Hopefully a weather system pulls in, because it was impressive when I was heading up there the last time, and it was like a blizzard snowstorm.
Ain't every day
How that changed the combat, it was pretty cool. Make sure if you are playing this game and you don't have the proper head movement and tracking, in other words, you've just got your view stuck on looking in front of you, it's going to be your proximity to the camera. Make sure that you're back far enough. You get so into this game that you forget little things like that, that you just need to be back far enough for it to pick you up. So we're going to have a fight here. Coming up. There we go. Let's take that pelt. These furry wolves just look so lifelike, that fur. So let's switch to bow. And how many arrows do we have? We have 12. Well, we're going to get quite a few more here, so... Man, the sound effects and the music atmosphere as well, just top-notch. Look at that. You seriously want to stop at every little part and just look around and just soak it all in. It's that freaking impressive. I gotta say, the bow fighting, bow and arrows, definitely more challenging than its non-VR counterpart. You've gotta watch the physics quite a bit better. And using your head like this really adds to the aiming. Gotta aim higher. Got him. Alright, so we're going to grab his bow before he goes over the mountain. Ass over tea kettle. Definitely want your 19 arrows, buddy. Now you can ceremoniously drop to the ground below. And we want her golds. And boo, she has no arrows. Okay, let's switch back to, this time let's do an axe. Nothing says choppy choppy like axe time. Here we go. So we got Buddy up here. We're going to carve him a new initial. There we go.
Picked a bad time to get muffed, friend.
And crap! I started kneeling accidentally. How do I unkneel again? Oh, crap. I accidentally waited. Oh well. Okay, the weather got better, but the bigger question... Okay, I am kneeling again. Can't remember how to do the stand-up, so just a second. Ooh, 5 lockpicks, that's nice. Alright, so let's go into controls again. L3. Oh, right. That's the one. L3 push. So I was talking about the stairs in the dungeon. Well, same thing here. Look at these. How steep these are. That just... It's amazing in VR. You just look at them like stairs and you just glide over in non-VR. But in VR, you really get a sense of... Holy crap, these things are steep. I'm sure my fear of heights doesn't help. And look at that. Check that out, guys. The wind taking the snow and just kind of drifting it up like that, eh? Catching particles of it. You can just really feel the wind coming up over this pass and blowing right through it, taking the snow with it. That is awesome. I saw a hawk in my earlier game too, in a bird's nest right at the start here. I forgot to look this time around, but never noticed it before. Felt so realistic though. It was like spotting an actual animal in nature. Really cool. Alright, so we've got a bunch of, like here, these stairs. Look how steep that is. Now you're probably looking at the flat monitor saying epics. Yeah, it looks about the same. But trust me, in VR, really, really steep. Little choppy action, and okay, we gotta hurry. Side, 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 side. Boom. Look at that. Don't. Take our loot with you. Hunting bow, little upgrade. Let's get some more arrows. And even more. Awesome. Did we loot buddy here? I don't think we did. Okay, we'll leave the greatsword. That weighs too much. And here's the first dungeon, guys. Since you didn't see the tutorial, this was so impressive. I mean, look at this. The scale. Massive dungeon entrance here. Right out of Lord of the Rings. Something the dwarves would have crafted out of metal to block their kingdom. And yeah, I'm nerding it up, guys, because this just so freaking amazing looking. And wow, this looks so cinematic. The shafts of light and that wind, again, picking up the snow and drifts as it comes in through the collapsed ceiling. Wow. Okay, we're gonna loot these guys first, sure. So you can see that guy died fighting those two. So we're gonna quickly oh, you think so?
Do your worst.
Oh, how's that? That's my worst. Okay, gold, lots more arrows, can never have enough of those. I mean, you can all but feel this fire and want to warm your hands here. Absolutely amazing. This is the promise of VR. This is where it's going to shine, guys. In-depth, immersive RPG experiences like this. So cool. And this spiderweb effect here. Check this out, okay? You're going through, and watch, it kind of like vacuum sucks to your face. Look at that. The effect when you're wearing the head-mounted display, guys, you've got that instinct of wanting to blink and wipe your eyes as that spiderweb gets sucked in. They did a really good job on that effect. Look at that. Dust from dirt that's been here hundreds of years. We'll do a little bit more here. And suddenly everything goes from that awesome outdoor scale of feeling the wide open outdoors to the claustrophobic tightness, right? Almost asphyxiating atmosphere of the dungeons here. Whoa, look at that dust. I mean, you just want to cough. Sucking that up into your lungs. This is what dungeon crawling is supposed to feel like in a game. Wow. Potion. So let's go to our first enemies, guys. We'll do a quick save here. Be coming up on our first enemy soon. Not counting this guy.
You're mine. What you gonna do? Huh? What you gonna do?
I'll start with taking your life, buddy. What am I gonna do? How's that feel? Okay, we got... Look at that. There we go. Alright, I think we're going to end things there. Again, I'm probably losing track of time, but just... Wow. Slight little bit of warping here, and the field of view that is a bit narrower. Definitely, you know, when you're looking for it, it's that looking through the black tunnel effect. But immersive enough, this experience, you can forget all about that. And same with the screen door effect. Even though this is a little more pixelated as far as VR experiences go, I'm not noticing the screen door effect. Even looking for it, I'm having trouble with it. A little bit on the field of view. But guys, in short, this is what we've been waiting for. This is RPG dungeon crawling in VR, open world style, living up to the promise. Can't wait to put some serious time, even though it's vanilla. Lots of fun ahead in this game. And then, of course, guys, Fallout 4 as well to look forward to. Well, guys, thanks for joining me on this quick look. Probably do a future game review on this version, something a bit more in depth. But for now, the quick look, guys. As always, cheers.